Good morning, cadets. Today's topic for study: diversity in living organisms. Myself, Rakesh Samar. So that is the topic: the hierarchy of classification group. Biologists such as Ernest Haeckel, Robert Whittaker, and Carl Voss have tried to classify all living organisms into broad categories called kingdoms. The classification Whittaker proposed has 5 kingdoms. Number 1, Monera, then Protista, fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. So these are the 5 kingdoms. So now we start each category, characters and examples. And that one is a hierarchy system. So number 1 is a kingdom, the biggest one. Then after phylum, for animals, and division for plants. Then class, order, family, genus, and species. That is the hierarchical order of classification. So number 1 kingdom, Monera. So these group includes many kind of unicellular prokaryotes organisms. So these are the unicellular prokaryotes organisms. Then after, they show diversity based on many other characteristics. Some of them have cell walls, while some do not have. The mode of nutrition of this organism can be either by synthesize their own food, autotrophic or heterotrophic. So number 1 character is very important, unicellular prokaryotic. Number 2, some of have cell wall or some don't have. Number 3, nutrition. Some of the animals have autotrophic and some heterotrophic. So these are the major characters of kingdom Monera. Then the basic examples is blue-green algae or cyanobacteria and mycoplasma. That is the 2 example. Number 2 kingdom Protista. The first character is that is a unicellular eukaryotic. The previous one unicellular prokaryotic. This one unicellular eukaryotic. Number 2, the organisms have cilia or flagella for moving around. Cilia or flagella means hair-like structure. They are number so many and length is short. Then flagella, what is the flagella? Number is less but length is long. Then after, the mode of nutrition can be autotrophic or heterotrophic. So they both of type of nutrition. Cilia usually present in paramecium and flagella usually present in euglena. So that is the example with figure. Then after, number 3, kingdom fungi. Kingdom fungi, number 3, these are heterotrophic eukaryotic organism. Heterotrophic eukaryotic. Previous one autotrophic or heterotrophic and eukaryotic. This one completely heterotrophic eukaryotic. Some of them such decaying organic material as food and therefore called saprotroph. Some fungal species live in permanent mutually dependence relationship with blue-green algae or cyanobacteria. Such relationship are called symbiotic. These symbiotic form is called lichen. So some of the fungus and algae living mutually associated, that is called symbiotic, and example is lichen. They have cell wall made up of tough complex sugar, that is called chitin. So that is some example: Aspergillus, Penicillium and Agaricus. That is the common example of fungus. Then after, kingdom 4, Plantae. So the next level of classification is based on whether the differentiate plant body as a specific tissue for the transport of water and other substances. Further classification looks at the ability to bear seed and whether seeds are enclosed within fruits. So what is the meaning of that? Plants, as we know, autotrophic and eukaryotic multicellular, and plant divided into 5 major categories: algae, bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnosperm and angiosperm, according to their characters. So now let us see. Number 1, algae. Plants that do not have well differentiated body design fall in this group. So first of all, they do not have well differentiated body design, means they don't have root, stem and leaf. That is the important character. Then after, number 2, the plant are predominantly aquatic. They have to require water or aquatic habitat. Without water, they can't survive. So algae required water. So some of the examples are Spirogyra, Eulothrix and Alva and Cara. So these are the some examples. Then after number 2 category, bryophytes. These are called amphibians of plant kingdoms, means previous one, algae is a completely aquatic. This one is a amphibians, means they are able to live water as well as terrestrial habitat. The plant body is commonly differentiate to form stem and leaf-like structure. Means in the previous one they are not differentiate, but this one are differentiate. There is no specialized tissue for conduction of water and other substances for one part of the plant body to another. Means they don't have xylem and phloem for conduction of food and water. These are the some examples of bryophytes: Rixia, Markensia and Funaria. Then after Pteridophyta, that is the fourth. Next category. In this group, the plant body is differentiate into root, stem and leaves. The previous one partially differentiate, but in this category have completely differentiate. Then after, these plants are called terrestrial plants. It is specialized tissue for the conduction of water and other substances from one part of the plant body to another. Means pteridophyte plants have xylem and phloem also. So body is differentiate and xylem and phloem also present in this group. The common example is Marsilia and ferns in the member of Pteridophyta. Then after gymnosperm, we can say the term gymnosperm derived from two Greek words. Gymno means nagged, sperma means seed, means nagged seed. They are not covered in the fruit, they are open. The group of this plant bear nagged seed are usually perennial, green and woody. Perennial means they are live as a form of tree or shrub, but it takes so many years. If the plant takes so many years for growing or complete our life cycle, that is called perennial. Evergreen and woody, that is not a hollow or herbaceous, it's a green. Then after angiosperm, the word is made from two Greek words. Angio means covered and sperma means seed. These are also called flowering plants. The seeds develop inside an ovary which is modified to become a fruit. Plant embryo seed have a structure called cotyledons. So what is the meaning of that? The seed is covered in the fruit. Then after, the seed, the part of seed is called cotyledons. The angiosperms are divided into two groups on the basis of number of cotyledons present in the seed. That is a dicot and monocot. Plant with seed having a single cotyledons are called monocotyledons or monocots. Example, grass and wheat is the example of monocot. And plants with seed having two cotyledons are called dicots or dicot or dicotyledons. Example is neem or mango. Means angiosperm plants, you can see around you all kinds of plant almost is an angiosperm, whether it is a dicot or monocot. So how can we differentiate dicot or monocot? So these are the some characters of dicot and monocot. So first of all, monocot characters and dicot characters we are compared together. Monocot plants have one cotyledons, for example rice. You can see the one seed only. Monocot and dicot have two cotyledons. They have one seed have two cotyledons. Then after venation, leaf venation, the leaf is a parallel venation like a banana or grass, and leaf of reticulate venation in neem, jamun and peepal also. Then after, vascular bundles usually arrange in complex and vascular bundle arrange in rings. Then after, roots, fibrous roots present in the monocot and taproot present in the dicot. And flower usually multiple of 3s in monocot and usually multiple of 4 or 5 in dicot. Thank you very much. Thanks.